Heyo people, I'm Crash Thompson and welcome to this review of the latest from Angel Electronics, Ultra Paradise. So Angel Electronics, what the hell is this, Crash? Well, this is a new project from Ada Rook. You may recognize that name if you've ever heard me talk about black dresses in the past. Yeah, this is another project from her with longtime producer Ash Nerve. Ash is also a producer and an artist in that particular scene. These two have worked together a lot. He's done work on some of Ada's solo records, and I guess they just decided to come together and say, hey, let's do something together. And he was like, cool, what should we do? And the answer was the sweetest, most wholesome, most cutesy, teeny pop punk mixed with that dark as fuck black metal shit. If that sounds like a weird combination, it's probably because it is. It is such a strange blending of styles. Again, it's like the sweetest teenage Disney Channel sounding pop punk. It almost sounds like anime themes. It's just so sweet and wholesome, and most of the lyrics are just this cutesy kind of, oh, I love you and you make my heart feel happy. Ash Nerve kind of brings most of the pop punk kind of edge to it, but then Ada brings in her sort of glitchtronic, sort of absolute screaming, sort of maniacal madness to things. This sound is absolutely nuts. It's like if Relient K, Emperor, and Arca all had a distorted little glitch baby, and somehow it absolutely positively works. I was absolutely enthralled by this thing. Ada's usual production style with the huge distortion and all the screaming and the glitchy backdrops and everything, it seems like it shouldn't fit with music this syrupy and wholesome, but like they find a way to really make it blend well together. Unlike a lot of her work with black dresses, this project feels a lot more focused on organic instrumentation. This is a very guitar-heavy record, a very drum-heavy record. And that's the thing, too. There are so many moments on this record where it straight up feels like a pop-punk record, like a wholesome pop-punk record. Like Simple Plan, if it was Simple Plan were actually good. Again, they're going for that kind of Nickelodeon-ass kind of pop-punk feel with a lot of the songwriting, and Ash's vocal delivery, and even Ada's most of the time, you know, it's very sweet, very wholesome. Ash has a very clean, very natural, very nice boy is how I describe his vocal approach. He just sings like a nice little fella who has nice things to say. Like if Ned Flanders could front a pop-punk band, that's kind of how his vocal delivery is. And again, when Ada is singing in her more sort of relaxed style, her voice is also very sweet and very, you know, wholesome too. Again, there are parts of this record that it almost feels like it should be playing over the end credits to a kid's TV show in moments. The thing is, though, like, man, when Ada Rook brings out her whole Ada Rookness and brings out the electronics, brings out the more speed metal and black metal ass guitars, when the speed picking really starts to come in, when the drums start to really cascade, and when the wall of sound starts building and building on a lot of these songs, you'd be amazed how slowly and sinisterly a song can change from sweet to savage, and you might not even notice it happening. It should not work as well as it does, at least on paper. You know, you pitch this idea to anybody else, it's like, that sounds fucking awful. Why would you do that? But man, the way the songs are constructed and the way Ada is able to just slip that in, and the way they sort of play off of each other and the way they're writing, it's mental illness magic, and I'm absolutely here for it. And that's the thing. There's songs like Party Girl where the mood is pretty toned down, it's pretty pop punk, it's pretty sweet, but Ada is just slipping in little hints of the more savage stuff. The guitars get slightly faster and faster, and the percussion gets more and more intense, and it just kind of sneaks up on you, and then by the end of the song, you're in a fucking Darkthrone tune. It's like, how the hell did we get here? They're great at slipping that mood in undetected. A lot of the songs are like, just kind of sneaky like that. But then there are also tracks like Evil Behind You or Rainbow where they'll just... fuck it. We're gonna take this sweet pop punk song and we're just gonna have the fucking darkest black metal fucking drop you've ever fucking heard. And it sounds fucking great. I just love how kooky and batshit insane the premise of this record is. But it's also pulled off very excellently. The tunes are very catchy, they're very peppy and poppy, and they get stuck in your head. God, it's such a cool little experiment, and they do pull it off so effectively. I know some people are just gonna bounce right the fuck off of this. Like, you know what? Listen to the track Rainbow. Listen to that huge fucking drop. Yeah, whatever your reaction to that moment is, that's how I feel like you're probably gonna feel about the whole record, but like, I don't know, I love this. It's not perfect though. I do have to admit there were issues I had with the production. With the focus on more organic instrumentation, with the guitar, drums, and bass kind of focus for a lot of the songs, the guitars are mixed great, and so is the bass too. It's very thick and heavy. The drums definitely feel a bit muffled. I honestly couldn't tell if they were fake or not, so that's probably not a good sign. Maybe just a sign I have a tin ear when it comes to percussion, but the percussion definitely could have been pushed a lot more forward, especially with an album that gets this savage. Again, I can understand how that might be kind of a tricky deal, trying to balance pop-punk drums against fucking dark horror industrial fuck you drums like that. That's gotta be a hard balancing act to pull off, but I'd be lying if I said they did it perfectly here. I have to admit, I also didn't like some of the sampling on here. Every single song either opens or has this weird sort of angel electronics. Yeah, this little clip, that plays in every single song at some point, pretty much. And like, I get it, a gimmick is a gimmick, but I don't know, it felt like it was one of those things that was just kind of distracting. Just like a little nitpick distraction, but I still didn't really care for it. But again, for a little independent project, a little fuck around experimental record, let's just fuck around and find out kind of album, I really love what they did here. I am all about this kind of goofy ass out there experimentation, especially when it's done well, and I'd say this is done very well. It's not going to be for everybody. I can understand if you listen to this thing and you just bounce off of it like a bullet against a steel plate. But man, if you have a weird taste for pop punk and a weird taste for darker, experimental, kind of black metal-ish, kind of industrial adjacent kind of stuff, if you want to hear a fusion of two genres that absolutely should not work under these circumstances, but you want to see it done pretty damn effectively, credit where it's due. This was damn solid. I've only given it a few spins so far, but I'm feeling a confident strong 8 to light 9 on this. I really, really enjoyed it, but it's also a weird record. Even if you know Black Dresses and you know Ada Rook's work, this is kind of a strange one, but I liked it. I understand if you bounce right off of this, but man, this was my vibe, and if you're a weird little gremlin too, absolutely check it out. Good stuff. And that's the review. Have you heard the new Angel Electronics yet? What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you bounce off of it? Were you just not sure what to think of it? Let me know in the comments, and feel free to check out some of my other videos while you're here. Check out the Besties, the best albums of 2022. That just dropped yesterday. Thanks again for watching. I'm Crash Thompson, and I'll see you when I see you.